Hello students, this is planning lecture 6. Planning lecture 6. This is important for Cambridge IGCSE and Cambridge O-level chemistry practical exam and alternative to practical exam. This is important. This planning lecture 6. You are asking solid cobalt to oxide, COO, this is cobalt to oxide, is a base, metal oxide is a basic oxide which is insoluble in water. It reacts very slowly with cold dilute sulfuric acid to form a solution of cobalt to sulfate. Describe how to make pure dry crystals of hydrated cobalt to sulfate. And you are asking describe how to make pure dry crystals of hydrated cobalt to sulfate. You are provided with cobalt to oxide, dilute sulfuric acid and common laboratory apparatus. Now please subscribe, like and share my channel. Let's move. At first, excess cobalt to oxide means COO, cobalt to oxide and dilute sulfuric acid H2SO4 excess cobalt to oxide and dilute sulfuric acid are taken in a beaker. You will take here cobalt to oxide plus sulfuric acid you will take, and the mixture is heated and stirred. You will give heat after heating. You will see cobalt to oxide dissolve in sulfuric acid, cobalt to sulfate salt and water will form. So you listen, excess cobalt to oxide and dilute sulfuric acid are taken in a beaker and the mixture is heated and stirred. After heating, you will see cobalt to oxide dissolve in sulfuric acid, reacts with sulfuric acid to form cobalt to sulfate solution, aqueous and water. As you added excess cobalt to chloride, so as you added excess cobalt to oxide, some cobalt to oxide remain undissolved, some cobalt to oxide does not dissolve. So then the mixture is filtered to remove excess cobalt to oxide. After dissolving, then you will filter the mixture to remove excess cobalt to oxide. After filtration, you will get clear solution, cobalt to sulfate aqueous solution. Then the filtrate aqueous solution, clear solution is known as filtrate. After filtration, the filtrate is heated to remove some water, or you can write the filtrate is heated to the crystallization point. To the crystallization point, at a certain point, cobalt to sulfate crystals will start to form. That point is known as crystallization point. The filtrate is heated to remove some water and allowed to cool, and left to cool, or you can write the filtrate is heated to the crystallization point and allowed to cool and left to cool. After cooling, you will see cobalt to sulfate crystals will form. You will see cobalt to sulfate crystals will form. Then the crystals are filtered out, or you can write the crystals are filtered off. Filtered out means you will separate crystals by filtration, and dried in a warm place, or you can write and the crystals are dried between filter paper or on filter paper, or dried in a warm place. This is the drying method. So what you will do, at first excess cobalt oxide and dilute sulfuric acid is taken in a beaker. This beaker, cobalt oxide and sulfuric acid you will take into a beaker, and the mixture is heated and stirred. After heated, cobalt oxide dissolve in sulfuric acid reacts with sulfuric acid to produce cobalt sulfate solution, aqueous solution. Then the mixture is filtered to remove excess cobalt oxide. After filtration, the filtrate is heated to remove some water, or you can write the filtrate is heated to the crystallization point. Crystallization point is a point at which crystals start to form and allowed to cool. The crystals are filtered out, the crystals are filtered off and dried in a warm place. This is the planning method how you can prepare cobalt sulfate crystals from cobalt oxide and dilute sulfuric acid. Thank you, dear students. You press on playlist for your content.